Good evening, I'm Andrew Chang.
And I'm Adrienne Arsenault. Tonight, making history as Canada comes to grips with its past.
I am honored, humbled.
Mary Simon is to be Canada's first Indigenous Governor-General.
A scorched British Columbia braces for more fires.
This is a bomb waiting to happen.
We'll take a look at the fuel still sitting on the ground.
So are 2 COVID shots enough?
When does the vaccine start to fail? And when it failed, what happens?
Will there be a vaccine booster shot, and who will need it?
I'm not going to give up my family name. That's just absolute nonsense.
And why the name of this Canadian whiskey is causing problems. This is The National. At a moment of national reckoning and pain over Canada's treatment of Indigenous people, a historic appointment today at the heart of Canadian government.
Mary Simon was named the next Governor-General of Canada, the first Indigenous person to serve in the role. And with her appointment, another historic first. This. Accepting the role, Simon delivered some of her remarks in Inuk. Tonight, we will look at what makes her uniquely qualified for the job. We'll hear what her appointment means to Indigenous people in this country and what it could mean for Canada's fragile path towards reconciliation at a crucial moment. Mary Simon's appointment comes in the aftermath of a scandal that engulfed Rideau Hall and led to the resignation of Julie Payette. Ashley Burke broke that story. She begins our coverage tonight with what lies ahead for Canada's 30th Governor-General.
A historic appointment in the wake of a historic resignation.
I cannot think of a better person to meet the moment.
That person, Mary Simon.
I am honored, humbled, and ready to be Canada's first Indigenous Governor-General.
She's a former Canadian diplomat and longtime Inuk leader who helped negotiate the first modern treaty and fought tirelessly for Indigenous rights.
We're talking about a fundamental right.
This is her going head-to-head over sexual equality with Justin Trudeau's father decades ago when he was Prime Minister.
In a sense, you're equal when you think you're equal.
I'd like to see the equality clause once and for all settled.
Simon is now taking on an apolitical role with a different kind of bilingualism, Inuktitut and English.
I was denied the chance to learn French during my time in the federal government day schools.
Her appointment in the midst of a reckoning over residential schools, protesters toppling over statues of the Queen, a symbol of the fractured relationship between Indigenous peoples and the Crown.
She understands that this is a very difficult time in this country and that she has a healing role to play, and she's ready to do it.
This step forward only happening because of the Prime Minister's past failure appointing Julie Payette, who resigned in disgrace, leaving behind a shattered workplace culture that Simon now inherits.
She's stepping into, a situation that very much parallels the Crown-Indigenous relationship in Canada in general. A relationship that has been abusive and has been neglected and toxic.
With the Queen's approval, Simon's formal installation into Rideau Hall is expected in the coming weeks. An appointment the government hopes is less about controversy and more about healing wounds of the past. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Ottawa.
Now let's bring in Chief Political Correspondent Rosemary Barton, because Rosie, I'm curious to know what you think this appointment means for Canada at this moment.
You know, Andrew, it is significant, obviously, for this country and for reconciliation. Mary Simon's not just an Inuk woman, but she's also a woman who has fought through her lifetime for the rights of the Inuit, sometimes in powerful rooms where she was the only Inuk person, the only Inuk woman, like during the negotiation of the repatriation of the Constitution. The idea of an Indigenous Governor-General has been talked about in this country for a long time. There was even talk the Prime Minister would do it all the way back in 2015. Simon herself said today it took courage to name her. And this is in some ways, Andrew, for Trudeau, kind of a redemptive political move after the failure of his previous appointment, the criticism of his own judgment in making that decision. It's also another example the Prime Minister can point to as a commitment to reconciliation. And although we've been waiting for a new Governor General for more than 5 months, the timing and the context here is important. After all, this has been a number of difficult weeks of reckoning for this country and for governments writ large.
Right, but just on that point of the timing, I mean, what does this say about the chance of an election?
Yeah, Ottawa's favorite game. Listen, it could be called even now if the Prime Minister wanted to do it. There's an interim Governor General in the form of the Supreme Court Justice, but there's also an acknowledgement that having a permanent person in place will make it easier to dissolve Parliament, a little less awkward. The installation is still weeks away, as would be a potential election call if it were to happen. What this does do is put that final piece in place, and it becomes part of a record this government would want to campaign onto, Andrew.
Rosie, thank you very much.
Thanks, Andrew.
And of course, there's a whole lot more to tell you about Mary Simon. A little later, we'll go through some of what she has accomplished in her lifetime so far, and what do those in the Inuit community who knew her well think of her?
When you're with her, there's an incredible peace where you just want to do better.
We'll hear more a little bit later in the program.
Now, this day was already going to be important for the Cowessess First Nation in Saskatchewan. After 70 years, it now has an agreement to retake jurisdiction of children in care. And maybe just as significant, the Prime Minister was there for today's signing ceremony. Jason Warwick has the story.
And the end goal is one day there will be no children in care.
At this First Nation east of Regina, Chief Cadmus Delorme signed a deal with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe. After years of groundwork, the Cowessess First Nation now has full control of its own child welfare.
Every day we will roll up our sleeves to make sure every child that they know where home is, and that is Cowessess First Nation, and that they will dance, they will get their education, and they will walk with their chin up and be a proud Cowessess citizen.
It was sparked by changes to Federal Bill C-92, which allows for First Nations to take charge of their own social services. Nearly $38 million in federal funding came with the deal.
And we are gaining control.
Trudeau was also at Cowessess today to pay his respects. Last month, 751 unmarked graves were discovered at a former residential school site in the community. The Prime Minister says the discoveries remind Canadians of the many injustices faced by Indigenous people. And the child welfare deal is one way to make amends.
That's why we're here today, to do better by this generation and future generations of children and families.
Just really hopeful.
This Indigenous child advocate and lawyer says it's a great first step.
So I'm hoping that this announcement gives people some of that hope to be able to kind of retake that back so they can bring their children home wherever it is that they are and take control over that.
The statistics in Saskatchewan are startling. In this province, more than 80% of all children in care are Indigenous. Many are hoping that other First Nations will follow Cowessess and take control of their own child welfare in the coming months. But they say that it will require the same partnerships, the same energy, and the same emotion that was on display today at Cowessess. Jason Warwick, CBC News, Saskatoon.
The Manitoba Métis Federation signed its own agreement with Ottawa today to advance the Métis people's right to self-governance.
It's a new modern-day treaty is what it really is. It sets the foundation that we have a province-wide self-government on behalf of all of our people. We will not be no longer treated like a corporation. We will no longer be treated like an organization. We will be treated as any government would be treated.
So this agreement lays out steps to formally recognize the MMF's jurisdiction over things such as citizenship, leadership, and government operations.
Well, the BC interior remains cloaked in heat, smoke, and fire, and it continues to spread. There are more than 200 fires burning across the province, but the worst of it is concentrated in the Kamloops Caribou region. More than 40 fires here are out of control, and more than 20 new fires have sprung up in the past 2 days. Large tracts of land are under evacuation orders. The village of Lytton, a charred ruin. The city of Kamloops, right in the middle of it all. That's where the BC Premier was today.
It was a moving experience, I think, for all four of us to fly over Lytton and to see the devastation there and to see literally nothing left.
And while Kamloops so far isn't threatened like Lytton, there's still just no getting away from it. The smoky skies, that feeling of insecurity. Evacuees have converged on Kamloops to escape the fire, but many have also found themselves in a very strange place, the very residential school where hundreds of unmarked graves were found weeks ago. As Carolyn Dunn explains, what has been a source of so much horror is, for the moment, a scene of hope.
Amongst a mountain of donations, there is even more need.
We come from a really big family.
Marlene Charlie and Eric Pickard from Lytton lost everything except whatever was clean in a laundry basket and one picture.
I think about what we lost and how fast it was coming, and I know when we got to the tracks trying to come out of the reserve, I happened to look back and the fire was already like just coming towards us.
Yeah.
So we had to just keep driving.
This is wonderful.
Yeah,
this is great. We just can't believe all the stuff that they've gotten, the gas cards and clothes and food, and you know, they support us emotionally too.
That is remarkable given where the evacuation center is, the old Kamloops Indian Residential School, where the unmarked graves of 251 children were discovered just over a month ago. Today, it is set up to help any evacuee who needs it.
And we wanted to make sure they had a place to come to and feel welcomed and supported.
They have all the food.
Chief Roseanne Casimir says the care her community has received is giving them the strength to give back.
You know, for us, you know, we just want to embrace them because we know what it's like to be hurting. And we just want to ensure that, you know, we continue supporting one another. That's something that we've always done as Cowessess First Nations.
So volunteers are working to keep people fed, and the gym doubles as a cooling center to escape the punishing heat and smoke that fills the air. All four of Laura Michelle's grandparents attended this school. Michelle felt the need to come volunteer.
So to actually see this space being used for such a positive purpose, it's amazing to see. And that in itself is healing.
Few places need healing more than this. Carolyn Dunn, CBC News, Kamloops.
Now, questions about the origins of the fire that destroyed Lytton continue to grow. As Katie Nicholson explained, some in the community have long felt the rail company hasn't done enough to manage the risk of fire.
All of the brush has been removed out. All of the trees have been spaced out.
Alfred Higginbottom removed excess trees and brush from this area for the Shkupa band 3 years ago.
So you can imagine a fire will get in here and go whoosh, and it'll catch all of these ones and it'll be blowing sparks.
It needs to be done again, and soon. It's all part of the band's plan to stop or at least slow down forest fires. So has he seen the same kind of thinning out and brush removal along rail lines?
I haven't seen it.
Speculation runs high that the Lytton fire was sparked up by a train. This one was spotted burning 45 kilometers south of the village that afternoon. CN does have a program to remove any vegetation that may pose a safety hazard, but the Intlakampam Tribal Council says it hasn't been doing enough of it.
No, they have not. And again, I know that our communities have brought this forward on numerous occasions over many years, and we're not taken seriously.
As long as the cause of the fatal Lytton fire remains under investigation, the council wants trains to stop running through the area. When asked if blockades were a possibility, this is what it said.
I want everybody to know that we believe that people's lives are meaningful, and I'll take whatever steps necessary in order to have them be safe.
The Lytton fire is still burning. Today, more reinforcements arrived. More tents popping up at this firefighter camp. But for Shkupa band members whose homes neighbor the devastated town, fear they could be next, especially given the brutally dry conditions. How quickly can something move across here given the conditions we have right here?
How quickly?
Yeah.
Faster than you could run.
So, Katie, you are at a firefighting camp south of that Lytton fire. A little bit of activity there. Can you walk us through what's happening?
Yeah, so this is just north of Boston Bar, and we've been driving by here all week. There had only been a few tents. In the last 24 hours, the command center has popped up behind me, and now there's about a dozen tents. People have been offloading fuel here, fire workers, just trying to get ready to move forward. Their numbers are growing. I can tell you that there are 40 firefighters coming in from New Brunswick in the next 24 hours, specifically to deal with the Lytton fire. Adrian?
All right, Katie Nicholson near Boston Bar, BC. Thank you, Katie.
You're welcome.
CBC News has confirmed the identity of the first known Canadian victim in that deadly tower collapse in Surfside, Florida. Ingrid Ainsworth is among the dead in the disaster that shocked the world nearly 2 weeks ago. Officials say at least 36 people were killed, but more than 100 are still considered missing, including 3 more Canadians. Katie Simpson has the latest.
A huge crowd gathered in the street to mark the start of a solemn funeral procession, a chance to say goodbye and pay respects to 2 of the Surfside condo collapse victims, one of them a Canadian. Sources confirm 66-year-old Ingrid Ainsworth, who went by Edie, has been identified as the Canadian who died. Her body was found in the rubble on July 5th, as was that of her husband, Svi, who was originally from Australia.
It's like a terrible nightmare. Just can't wake up.
The Ainsworths attended a small synagogue near the collapse site. Their rabbi says he knew Svi better than Iddy.
Well, Svi was a very easygoing fellow, very nice to talk to, great sense of humor, very chatty.
In a Mother's Day blog post from 2020, obtained by the Miami Herald, the couple's daughter, one of their 7 kids, wrote a tribute to Iddy. Every person she encountered ever in life became her friend. Everyone was treated as equals, she wrote. The guy at the laundromat, the guy working at the fruit market, the outcast, the misunderstood, the popular, the unpopular. The Ainsworth family had recently celebrated the birth of a new grandchild. They reportedly moved to Florida about 4 years ago to be closer to family after spending nearly 2 decades in Australia.
I ask all of you around the world who are continuing to follow this story to please keep these victims and these families in your hearts and prayers.
Video from first responders showing the debris pile acts as a sobering reminder of the scale of this challenge. It's a rescue effort that had to pause for 2 hours today because of lightning and wind. Conditions that may worsen as the outer bands of Hurricane Elsa draw closer. There are still 3 Canadians from 2 different families among the missing. Canadian officials are on the ground trying to get them what information and support they can. Katie Simpson, CBC News, Washington.
In northern Nigeria, officials have shut down all schools that could be vulnerable to attacks, while security forces search for about 150 children kidnapped at gunpoint yesterday. It's the 10th mass school abduction there since December. And as Salima Shivji tells us, the United Nations calls the situation a crisis.
The pain is visceral for the parents of the missing, who rushed to the school when they heard the devastating news. They are the latest victims of Nigeria's kidnapping crisis, growing more acute every day.
She told me to remove her.
This father, devastated, racked with guilt. His daughter didn't want to stay at the school. Now she's gone.
I received a phone call that they have entered the school, kidnappers, and all our children are back, including my daughter inside.
At the wall the kidnappers breached, this woman prays that the children not suffer. The mass abduction came mere hours after another group attacked a hospital, shooting through the locks securing the dorm. They grabbed 8 people, including a 1-year-old baby. More than 1,000 students have been snatched in the past 6 months, most in Nigeria's north. Many schools have shut to deter the armed gangs. That's left children like Yusuf out of class, only 7 years old, and forced to learn to weld instead.
The situation in education in Nigeria is probably at its biggest crisis point at the moment. There are in the region of 13.2 million children out of school in total, which is the highest number globally.
The deep economic pain in the country and sky-high unemployment are root causes. Holding children for ransom is seen increasingly as a lucrative industry, quick money that most officials pay.
From my point of view, the government incentivized it. When you pay bad actors off, you simply give the incentive for other bad actors to do the same thing.
The feeling the government has failed parents as strong as the pain here.
I will protest. We'll continue to protest until our children are brought back.
It's all they can hope for as they wait for any word. Salima Shivji, CBC News, London.
As more Canadians become fully vaccinated, some are now wondering if that's the end of it for shots.
I think it's reasonable to start thinking that we're going to need also a booster or a third dose.
Coming up, the UK is getting ready to roll out booster shots, but are they really needed?
Plus, Scotch whiskey is going after a Canadian distiller.
I'm not going to give up my family name. That's just absolute nonsense.
And taping together a prom dress, quite literally.
It took me 17 rolls of duct tape, and it weighs approximately 6 pounds.
Why an Ottawa teen decided to ditch the fabric. We're back in 2. Coming back to our top story, the historic appointment of Mary Simon as Canada's first Indigenous Governor-General. Simon brings a wealth of experience to the job, having served in senior leadership positions. Her roots are connected to the land and a traditional way of life growing up in Nunavik. Here's how she described her early years, speaking today in the Inuk language.
Inuk na lang ang miga mamana. Kindaw mga ma hawye maya walwak sunga mi sunu kisiya ni ilang ino hawye maya ngina mami sa makanun Mary May Simon nguyunga Mary May mi ate kakatulak si mayunga inusutusunga amalo inutitut ate ka ningiukalak kopek mi ukiok tatu mi nuna haktunga mana nuna vimik tayaw sungulatok Ananaga inulak si mayok inutuin na suni halunati to kayakani amalo atataga halunangot suni halunanungan ni pisi mayok ang ayok kagayaw hatalak si mayok Hudson Bay Company kunun pigok sa sunga tamani nuna vimisi mayong atay mangani amalo inusaga inutitut piusibun ni atok sunga pigok si mayunga.
Forging connections is something Mary Simon has been doing for decades as a negotiator, ambassador, leader, and broadcaster. In the 70s and early 80s, she worked as a journalist for CBC Radio and TV, and her voice in Inuktitut brought the news to a new audience.
They, at the same time, have to recognize and settle the offshore rights of the Inuit people.
Simon helped negotiate the first land claim agreement in Canada between Inuit, Cree, Quebec, and the federal government.
There is a lot of pollution that's infiltrating the Arctic regions.
In 1994, she was the first ambassador for circumpolar affairs and soon helped create the 8-member Arctic Council. Later work through a national nonprofit continued bringing northern issues to the fore, including, crucially, climate change.
A lot of people, hunters, are concerned that it's all going to change and they won't be able to practice their cultural practices anymore, which is really part of our identity.
And though the work never ends, Simon still holds faith in the fight.
We have hope in our lives. I mean, we're not in a hopeless situation.
Now, the appointment of Mary Simon is not just historic for Canada. It is especially meaningful for some of the people who know her best. Jordan Kunik is in Iqaluit with that story.
Nancy Inuk was very excited to learn Canada's 30th Governor General will be someone she knows well. As a child, Mary Simon was her role model.
She would be equivalent to a superhero for me.
Simon's stellar career includes a stint as president of the Makivik Corporation. Its current head says the appointment puts Inuit on a global stage.
I actually went to Russia with Mary, along with Sheila Wakruche, Peter Ilnik, and we traveled with the Governor General, Adrian Clarkson, not knowing one day that we would actually have an Inuk Governor General. So it made me look back.
Her colleagues say she's a strong leader, and when it comes to reconciliation, she'll be looking for solutions as opposed to barriers.
That's the way I've seen her work since I've known her. And one of the comments was that reconciliation will be at a much faster rate, or will be more evident.
When you're with her, there's an incredible peace where you just want to do better.
And even younger Inuits see this as a new day for their generation, as Leslie Fredlin told the CBC's Juanita Taylor.
When I looked at my phone this morning and saw the announcement on Mary Simon, it changed my day.
And encouraging words from the new appointee herself, who says Canadians need to learn about their history and that everyone must work hard toward the promise of a better tomorrow. Jordan Kunis, CBC News, Iqaluit.
Okay, next on The National, millions of Canadians are now fully vaccinated, but how long will the protection last?
When does the vaccine start to fail? And when it failed, what happens?
The questions now dogging health experts. Plus,
as long as this virus remains with them, remains in those places, it continues to mutate.
Most countries are still largely without vaccines. Why that is putting Canadians in danger. Stay with us.
Well, almost 26 million Canadians have now been vaccinated against COVID-19. That's nearly 80% of eligible Canadians with one dose and more than 40% fully vaccinated with 2 doses. But now we're starting to hear about a third dose, a booster shot. Health reporter Vic Adopia tells us who might need it and why.
Canada is getting COVID-19 under control. New cases have fallen dramatically as most Canadians have now been vaccinated with at least 1 dose.
In the light of the fact that we're probably going to get in Canada more and more of this Delta variant, I think it's reasonable to start thinking that we're going to need also a booster or a third dose.
So do health officials in the UK, where they're starting in September with the most vulnerable, seniors and immunocompromised people. Still, one vaccine maker says it's too soon to know if everyone will need a third shot.
It is a question of not just how long does the durability of the vaccine offer protection, but we look for things like breakthrough infections. And when does the vaccine start to fail? And when it failed, what happens?
Indeed, fully vaccinated people are still getting infected, at least 2,700 of them, according to the latest national figures for most of Canada, and 66 died. That's less than 1% of the fully vaccinated population.
I'm feeling quite fragile.
Janet Lang has a rare form of cancer and worries she could be in that less than 1% if policymakers wait too long for real-world data on the need for boosters.
Let's give it a shot and then come up with a possible timetable, come up with some safety measures.
But rushing ahead with a third round of shots here has global consequences.
If you give those third doses here, it means that you're not giving there elsewhere, worldwide. And at this point in time, what is absolutely needed is for the entire planet to be vaccinated.
Even though there is no plan yet for booster shots in Canada, the federal government says it's already secured vaccines for the next 3 years. Vic Adopia, CBC News, Toronto.
As we just heard, and health experts have long been warning, the pandemic will continue to be a threat to everyone until people around the world are vaccinated. And as optimistic as people in this country are starting to feel right now, 75% of the world's population is still waiting for that first dose. Tonight, we want to revisit a story that first aired last month about the desperate situation in some poorer countries where even a first vaccine dose is out of reach for so many. Begging for vaccines in Caracas with no idea of who is listening. Family members collecting the dead themselves with no idea of who's actually counting those lost. Infectious diseases specialist Dr. Julio Castro says his fellow Venezuelans feel alone now, unable to trust either the numbers or the plan.
So we are doing a kind of unofficial surveillance system which take in count 40 of the bigger hospitals in Venezuela, and the numbers are quite different from the official numbers.
Help is not coming fast. Venezuela rejected offers of AstraZeneca vaccines from COVAX. It may get some mRNA vaccines from the group in July. The United States has excluded Venezuela from its vaccination donations for now, citing a lack of transparency about how the country has handled COVID. And deals made with Russian and Chinese firms haven't seen promised deliveries arrive in sufficient numbers. The black market, though, is surging for those with means, paying up to hundreds of dollars for a shot.
This is irregular, this is unethical, and this is dangerous for people.
This is where COVID's global complications get uglier. For the first year of the pandemic, it was a problem for wealthier countries, perhaps because they tend to have older populations. But something happened a few weeks ago in May. On a single day, the pandemic flipped. With vaccines available for the rich, the death rates in higher and middle-income countries dropped below those in lower-income countries for the very first time. The poorest nations with the youngest populations and the weakest infrastructure now see the most death and illness. COVID has officially turned its sights on the global poor. Mark that day on the calendar as the one Achal Prabhala in Bangalore, India really started to panic.
And I find that this is more terrifying in a way, because what it means is when poor countries are left to themselves for a disease that primarily affects them, it will mean that they will be worse off and have less resources to deal with that.
He's a global campaigner for access to medicine and says as wealthy countries see their dangers diminish and plan reopening, they forget the promise of we're all in this together. India didn't see huge loss until a few months ago. Now, nearly 350,000 are dead and the healthcare system is in crisis.
Okay, you can go in.
The day our cameras were there, Prabhala was supposed to get his second shot, but the clinic ran out. And there's the enormous ironic problem. The country that's the world's largest vaccine manufacturer is short on vaccines. Barely 3% of its 1.3 billion people have been inoculated. India's Serum Institute did have COVAX contracts to supply 92 of the world's poorest countries with vaccines, enough for 4 billion people relying on that help. Deliveries were slow at first. Then, once the virus started wreaking havoc in India, delivery stopped totally. Countries that are waiting for vaccines from India, vaccines that are now not coming, what are they going to do?
Well, they have decided that they cannot rely on the COVAX facility, which is what promised them these vaccines. So it's failed dismally. And so what they did is to prepare themselves by buying vaccines on their own. One of the problems is that any country that woke up late to understanding that it needs a large supply of vaccines is now at the back of the queue.
Some of those countries now trying to make deals for vaccines really don't have the means to pay for them, like Nigeria. Of its 200 million people, less than 1% are vaccinated. It has among the fewest doctors per capita in the developing world. And so little testing, it looks like there's very little COVID. But the virus shows its cruelties. Nafisa Adamu used to work in a bank but lost her job. So did a third of the country. Global COVID lockdowns and low oil prices demolishing the economy.
I don't get help from any government. I don't get help from anybody. I am on my own. There are kidnapping, more robbery, more killing, more bandit, more Boko, and a lot of things.
The only trigger that we know right now that has led to this is this gross economic, recession that we've experienced. So the sooner we get this pandemic over, the better for the whole world.
Edwin Akuria is the Africa director for the One campaign, a global effort to end poverty. As shocked as he is by what's happening in Nigeria, he is baffled by this country. Look at the number of vaccines per capita each nation has secured. The one that secured more doses per person than any other country in the world is Canada, and it is already vaccinating children. From the outside, this looks dangerously selfish.
It may be great for the political landscape, but while you are vaccinating children over the age of 12, just remember that health workers in some low-income country who are also facing this virus every day do not have access to a vaccine. Remember that as long as this virus remains with them, remains in those places, it continues to mutate, it will come back to your own population in the long run, and then every effort you've made before will be wasted.
And if the medical humanitarian argument does not inspire sharing vaccines immediately, maybe an economic one will.
Once the virus is ravaging in other places of the earth, everything that Canada needs from those places or that's supposed to be selling to those places will not be there, right?
The bulk of the world always feared they'd be left behind, and now they see it happening. See politics at play, not cooperation. In the very moment, sharing matters most.
So clearly challenges abound. And for some, as we push ahead, COVID posed a different sort of challenge.
Find the way. Yes, good girl.
Coming up, that's not just any dog, and her services were much needed but unavailable for months. We'll tell you why next. Welcome back. For the many Canadians who depend on service dogs, the pandemic has created uncertainty. First, trainings were canceled. Then they went virtual, causing a big backlog for those desperately needing that kind of help. Ellen Morrow spoke with one woman who waited almost a year for her lifeline.
Good girl.
For Sue Woodhouse, a walk without her husband would have been too hazardous just weeks ago. But then came Wembley.
It's just a whole different outlook on life. I have much more confidence when I do have Wembley with me at my side. Gonna find the way home?
Woodhouse is visually impaired. She waited nearly a year for a new guide dog after her last one retired. A much longer wait than usual, with the pandemic halting service dog training for months.
But you had a longer than normal waiting period to get another dog. What was that like for you?
I think it made pandemic really huge. I open the door and look out, I don't see freedom. I see more things that are going to be potential obstacles out there. So the waiting was hard.
Hard but worth it, says Woodhouse. This was the moment she met Wembley.
Hello, good girl. Hi, sweetie. Oh, aren't you beautiful?
This is Wembley.
Getting acquainted with her new best friend and a new sense of freedom.
No kisses.
I think Wembley's got a lot of spunk. She likes to please. She's very confident when she's in the harness and likes to do her job, likes to work. And that makes it so much easier.
She is a good girl.
Yeah, gotta tell her she's good when she is.
Find the way, yes. Find the way. Yes, good girl.
This is where Wembley learned how to work, the Lions Foundation of Canada Dog Guides Training Facility. That's her going through her paces just days before going home to Woodhouse. Each highly trained dog is worth about $35,000, all paid for by donations. Pre-pandemic, recipients like Woodhouse would live at the facility for 3 weeks, training in person. When COVID struck, that training was canceled.
Well, there's Mr. Pepper. Oh, thank you.
When it picked up again, it was over Zoom.
If I wanted to take Wembley out for a walk before breakfast, that would work okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those sessions followed up by home visits from a trainer after the dog's arrival.
Doing training one-on-one with them and their dog, and we will go back and continue to go back until that team is trained fully. Good girl, wait. Oh,
despite the efforts to adapt, there's still an inevitable backlog, creating extended wait times after months of lockdown and isolation that have been particularly hard on people with disabilities.
More and more Canadians understand how valuable a dog can be in helping them in their lives. So we're doing our best to shorten those wait lists.
As the pandemic wanes into the dog days of summer, that should become easier.
We're starting to see clients, which is really, really exciting, and it feels like we're returning to normal.
Woodhouse feels the same.
What does Wembley give you back?
I can open the door and walk out with confidence and get to the end of the street and go to my grocery store. Be able to be known that if I have an issue, the dog's there.
But Woodhouse wants to go much further than that. She traveled to Scotland with her last dog, Fisher.
Get a new dog?
I did.
Post-pandemic, she's hoping for more big trips with Wembley.
Knowing that we'll be able to do great things together in the places that we go to.
Okay, Wembley.
And she can't wait.
Let's go.
Ellen Morrow, CBC News, Sarnia, Ontario.
Good girl.
Next on The National, what's in a label? Apparently a lawsuit.
They've got so much money and so much power. I don't think that it's right.
Scotch whiskey is going after a Canadian distiller over its name. Plus,
Definitely probably the heaviest dress I've ever worn.
An Ottawa teen swaps chiffon for duct tape for a pretty unique prom dress. Stay with us.
Welcome back. An award-winning Victoria distillery is in a trademark battle. Macaloni's Caledonian whiskey doesn't market itself as Scotch. That word is a geographically protected designation. But the Scotch Whisky Association isn't backing down. It is accusing the Canadian distillery of deceptive branding. Here again is Katie Nicholson.
We like it to be nice and lumpy because it burns easier.
From the peat to the 70-proof alcohol.
It's clear like water.
Macaloni's Caledonian whiskey is fully Canadian. It even says so on the label.
We've made it prominent in the gold on the bottle.
Even so, it's run afoul of the Scotch Whisky Association, which claims the Victoria Distillery's product is misleading consumers, making them think this is Scotch whiskey from Scotland, a protected geographical trademark, like champagne from France. But the distillery doesn't use the word Scotch at all. Still, in March, the association filed a lawsuit in BC demanding Graham McAloney change the name. It objects to the use of Caledonian, which it says is synonymous with Scotland, and even McAloney's surname.
I'm not going to give up my family name. That's just absolute nonsense.
It all came as a surprise because McAloney consulted the association as he developed the whiskey.
We fully complied by having Made in Canada with the address on the back, but they pointed out that they'd prefer to see it on the front.
He even added a map of Vancouver Island. The association says it's just trying to protect the reputation of Scotch whiskey. To win in court, it will need to prove BC consumers think Caledonian refers only to Scotland and not to a historic name for BC.
It's an interesting case because it almost pegs, a bit the old world with the new world and the interrelationships between, people that come to this country as immigrants.
The lawsuit has soured this whiskey enthusiast on Scotland's single malts.
They've got so much money and so much power. I don't think that it's right that they're forcing a small Canadian enterprise like this to jump through hoops.
It may seem like McAloney is a David to the industry's Goliath in this trademark fight, but he believes he's not alone.
In the last 10 years, there's only been 16 new distilleries in Scotland. North America, 2,000. And all these Irish and Scottish diaspora will call their distilleries what they want.
Battling it out one bottle at a time. Katie Nicholson, CBC News, Victoria.
Okay, up next, we've been showing you the dress.
It feels comfortable most of the time. I can't exactly sit down.
But you are definitely going to want to hear the story behind it. It's next in a moment. Duct tape, used to fix all kinds of things, and it turns out even to make a prom dress. But even then, for Erica Aveaneda, this isn't just a dress, it's a chance to win $12,000. She applied for a scholarship that focused on making prom attire entirely out of duct tape, and she's beat out more than 100 other people and their outfits to make it into the top 5. Tonight, her effort is our moment.
I just happened to be looking online at scholarships. I was just excited to see what I could make. It took me approximately 143 hours, 17 rolls of duct tape, and it weighs approximately 6 pounds. Definitely probably the heaviest dress I've ever worn. I've always been a little interested in fashion and the colors that can bring. The gold was hard to find, it's not very popular. I found a lot of designs that I was using on my mom's bed sheet. I thought that would be cool to incorporate. It feels comfortable most of the time. I can't exactly sit down because it'll rip, but it's hard because once you put it down, you can't undo it very easily. This was definitely a new way of using duct tape.
Okay, so I have 2 thoughts.
I have many thoughts.
Both of them kind of superficial. One, stunning, beautiful. Yep. Isn't it hot? Like, wouldn't it be really?
Maybe. She is extraordinarily talented. Grade 9. She says she envisions this being worn in an architecturally Baroque castle, dancing to classical music. It is amazing.
It's classy.
I hope she wins. That is a national for July the 6th. Good night.
Good night.